Hydrated, dilated, good to go.
Do you pee at night?
There were poppers at the campsite last night.
Oh, okay. Do you have to pee at night ever?
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 78 of FND POD. I'm vinnydego.
I'm aaronfronk.
And this is a podcast where we talk about movies that we saw. But this one, and we're talking about Eddington today. But, Aaron, let's just start with just shooting the crap.
I kind of miss shooting the crap with you, dude.
Let's just shoot the crap. Not a lot has happened lately.
I think something big just happened to you.
What's that?
I don't know. You were supposedly on this trip.
Oh, I was talking about like in the country, but we won't. Not yet.
Not yet.
Let's keep it.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep it micro, and then we'll go macro.
Yeah. Okay.
I went
personal life.
I went camping this past weekend. I tie-dyed a shirt.
Oh, fun! Whoa, it's still wrapped up.
I still gotta rinse the sucker out.
What colors did you use?
Green, blue, purple. Like a darker shade, a darker purple, might have been like a navy, and then like an orange.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was a friend's birthday, so they got a bunch of folks together, and I'm not an experienced camper, Aaron. I had to borrow a tent. I forgot my sleeping bag, so at 3 a.m. I woke up and I was.
That's like the one thing.
Well, because I had a tent.
One thing you got to bring.
I had a tent. I had a blanket. I had a sleeping pad. I had my pillow. I had board games I brought. I had everything, and then I forgot my sleeping bag. And I woke up at about 3 a.m., and I was so cold, and my mouth was dry. I kind of had to go to the bathroom. Somebody next to me was snoring, and I was miserable. And I used what little bit of willpower I had to put on another pair of socks and put my shoes on, and then I laid there and tried to zen out until daybreak. And eventually it came. And I'm very tired right now, actually.
You didn't sleep that whole night?
I probably got 2 good hours of sleep.
No.
Yeah.
This was last night?
This was just last night.
Oh.
And we were doing stuff all day. I had a couple drinks, couple pulls of a couple pulls out of the bottle of whiskey. And so I'm running on fumes right now. I got home, I showered, I went shopping. I got all my little chores done so I can just like not have to worry about it. So I'm kind of this is where I'm at. What about? So do you have any other questions for me about the camping trip?
I have a lot.
Okay,
but I don't know.
Give me a couple, and then I'll ask you about.
It sounds like you were roughing it.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't.
Were you pooping in a hole?
There were pit toilets, so they were built up. This is these are campgrounds that have been used for a long time. Yeah, pooped in a there's a seat and there's a shelter over it, but you're pooping in a hole.
And I imagine you have teepee there, and you just.
I brought a roll.
You brought your.
I brought a roll, and thank goodness I did, because I went in there and there was none, except for the roll I brought.
Somebody else bring any rolls?
Eventually, yeah, other rolls showed up. I think it seems to be a general rule that you offer. It's an offering. If you bring a roll of teepee, you just leave it there. Others are going to use it.
Was this one night or two?
The greater group did 2 nights. I just went up for one.
Mm-hmm. And they were they all kind of like watching you like, oh, like you can only handle. I mean, I got to imagine you're the only one that comes in for one night and you forget your sleeping bag. They're probably looking at you like, you're making
a lot of assumptions.
I'm just saying.
I'm not the only one who came in for one night.
There were but did anybody else forget a sleeping bag?
No one knew I forgot a sleeping bag. It was. You gotta understand, Aaron. You gotta understand.
There
were 40 people at this. There were tents spread out all over the place, and not everyone's. We're not going. And hey, guess what happened over here? Okay, it was within my immediate vicinity. I go, oh, I forgot my sleeping bag.
And you slept in your own. Nobody needed to sleep in your tent with you.
No, it was just I had the tent I borrowed from another friend.
Okay, yeah. So you kept the seat. So you were just shivering on your own.
They weren't laughing, pointing at me, go, oh, look at this dump. Look at this novice. Look at this camping. Look at this greenhorn.
And then you came out in the morning and you're like, hey, everybody. Oh, what a great sleep.
No, I made sure.
Who's ready for breakfast?
I made sure everybody knew how miserable I was.
Oh, okay. They found out either way.
I go, so Aaron, let's say you're camping.
Yeah.
Hi, man.
Hey,
you're good morning.
Good morning.
How'd you sleep last night?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Me? Oh my gosh, it was great. Yeah. No, I came prepared. How about
That's
you?
great. Oh man, awful time. Forgot my
Really?
sleeping bag. I was cold. Yeah, it was pretty rough. But we made it through.
You didn't sleep.
Not a lot. I got like maybe 3 good hours. Maybe actually kind of 3 mediocre hours, I would say.
You see, this birthday party was for well, I don't want to be rude, but people that know what they're doing. Look, there's bears in the woods. We don't want to be responsible.
There's no bears up here.
There could be.
There's not. This is not.
Hey, we get some black bears in Ohio. And you're in California. There are definitely bears there.
Maybe there
Where
are.
were you at? Where were you? Like next to the Hollywood sign? Come on.
2 hours, about 2 hours north of LA. I won't say where. It's a good spot. I'm not blowing it up.
Okay, so you're
people who will
you're
watch
probably
this
only
episode.
an hour or two away from Yosemite. You think there's not bears where you're at?
We're not that close to Yosemite. Anyway, yes, I knew what I was doing. So what? I forgot. I've made an honest mistake, but for the most part, I'm not like I set my hand up with the help from a friend.
That's cute.
I went on a river walk. I sang songs.
Did you like catch a salmon with your bare hands?
No, but someone did pull a trout out of the river with their bare hands.
Did they do the? No, that's catfish.
I didn't.
Right?
I didn't.
What do they call it? Noodling. There's something where like you stick your whole arm underwater and
you pull one up
in hopes that the catfish will glom onto the whole your like down to your elbow and then you just yank them out.
I didn't see that.
That'd have been cool.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Well, somebody caught that's freaking awesome. So you guys fried some fish. What did you have to bring?
No,
food?
we didn't fry fish.
What was the food situation like?
Well, when you have this many people, you got to coordinate. So there was a Google Sheets ahead of time, and there were meal teams and meal captains. And the meal captains were put in charge, and everyone Venmoed $25 to the one person. It was dispersed amongst the crowd. Meal captain took care of the thing. And there was a sign-up sheet. The day is scheduled by the hour, and there are activities you could do. It was very coordinated. They've done
that. Sounds. I mean, I guess if you got that many people, you don't want 40 people in the woods with no food,
nothing to do, no food. They'll start.
That's how you get
a Donner Party on your hands.
Yeah, you get a Donner Party quick,
or an orgy,
or you get like a utopia where everybody's like, we got to figure this out, and then you all Minecraft it up. You start crafting shelters and mining ore, and then you just start a civilization.
Yeah, we start a sovereign state.
Damn.
The free state of Vince.
Yeah, and they would name it after you. Mm-hmm. Wow.
So
we have to make the leader the guy who didn't know what he was doing.
I'm charming. I have my charm. My charisma is a +5.
Well,
I know how.
I'm glad you're back. I bet you're gonna sleep like a baby tonight.
I can't wait.
And if you even wake up for a brief second, you're gonna think, "Oh, I'm not on rocks and dirt, and this is air controlled in my room, and it's just so nice and pleasant."
Dude, I've had more than a few nights in the last year where I wake up in a situation where I'm like, I'm just uncomfortable. And usually I've had a couple drinks or something.
And that'll do it.
And I wake up and I'm like,
dude, drinks will.
And I'm just I'm experiencing different sorts of discomfort, like different varying degree. And I'm just thinking, I don't want to ever feel like this again. How do I always ensure that my life is as comfortable as possible? I never want to experience discomfort again.
Just general discomfort, or you just mean like hungover discomfort? Like brought on by yourself.
Yeah, brought on by myself.
Oh, I feel like a lot of people do that though. They're like, "Why can't I sleep at night?" And then you go through their habits, and they're like,
right.
"I had an espresso at 3. I was watching a movie until midnight, and then I scrolled Instagram."
Speaking of which, I'm actually so thirsty right now. So we're gonna edit this.
Okay.
Right.
I'm gonna go get a drink too.
Right now. Okay. Yeah, I'm saturated, hydrated, dilated, good to go.
Do you pee at night?
There were poppers at the campsite last night.
Oh, okay. Do you have to pee at night ever? That's a discomfort that I feel like I bring on myself because I just can't. I feel like I usually stop drinking when I should, like water, but then I'll get up and I'll pee like a gallon in the middle of the night, and I'm just sitting there like I could nod off for how long I'm peeing, and then I'm like, what? I don't even feel like I drank since 5 p.m. Why am I peeing so much?
I don't know. Maybe
my body's getting old. My bladder I just can't deal with it.
Maybe before you go to bed, you have your wife wring you out.
Were you just going to say something else?
No.
You said wring you out.
I was going to say dry you, wring you out. I don't.
Okay.
Interpret that how you will.
Okay.
So yeah, I camped, and I did have fun in spite of the let's say 6 hours of discomfort. It might not have been that long. I don't know. It's time moves funny when you're in and out of the dream state. It was a good time, and I wish to do it again. I wish to be a more experienced camper in life.
Yeah. Well, come with time.
Yeah. And how about you, man? What about you?
I went to the zoo.
Zoos are immoral. You're a bad person for giving them your money.
Now.
What?
Thought about this.
Oh, did you?
Because there's a quote, and I'm going to butcher it, but because you just brought it up.
It's a Gandhi quote.
Who was No, it's from, is it Jane Goodall?
I don't know.
Isn't she she's the woman that like researches chimps?
Yeah, she studied to live with apes or something.
I could be getting this wrong, but I swear I saw a quote from her one time that was like, it was basically saying like people are quick to disparage zoos.
Okay.
But when you think about the things going on in the world, like, is that really the worst place for an animal that like has open air and has room and gets fed daily?
Do they have room
and is nurtured?
I saw the lion's den at the.
I know you're gonna say the Lincoln Park Zoo, and I don't know. Do you think I'm a zoo expert that I've been to every one in the country and I can account for this is the square footage that this animal needs and it's not here? I don't know.
There are
but I do know that they're not suffering from a drought and they're all sickly and their bones are protruding and they're all, I can't find any food.
So instead of humans correcting their industrial habits that have led to this, we should just continue destroying the planet and then to make up for it, put the animals in cages.
Well, I think aren't those two separate issues? Are you saying that like the animals are suffering because of human habits?
Yes.
Like animals can suffer. No, animals can suffer without us.
Well, then that's fine.
What do you think? You don't think there's animals out in the Sahara that are like?
Jane Goodall is making the case that the world. How is it? Wait, do you not see this here? If animals are suffering because of a drought...
Can you mansplain it to me, please?
If animals are suffering because of... Okay, first off, why is there a drought? Is this part of the natural occurrence of the Earth's climate, or is this a drought worsening because of human...
Oh, the government has temporarily stopped seeding clouds into the sky, and there's no rainfall, so yeah, it is. It's more our doing.
So, yeah.
Yeah, no, go ahead with your point.
My point is, if you're saying the animals are suffering due to our habits, it should be that we stop our habits, not that we give them air-conditioned apartments to live in and continue on with our habits. So a zoo is not like we're saving them from ourselves.
All right, well, you can go watch Jane Goodall. She's got there's a 12-minute video on the roles. You can't
start the fire and then put it out and say
the roles that zoos play in saving wild animals. And a quick recap on Google says that she basically believes zoos can be a positive force for conservation and education, but only if they meet high welfare standards, provide naturalistic, enriching habitats. I can't read, and actively contribute to wild conservation efforts. So, dude, like, take it up with Jane. I don't know.
I'm not so.
Anyways, the giraffes came right up to us, and it was cool. All right, so I don't care what you're saying.
Hey, I hope your daughters and your son grow up to want to help the animals one day.
You know what? I hope if you ever have kids and they grow up, they never see an animal in their life. And then when they finally see one out in the wilderness for whatever reason, they're like, and then they
see
and their
a
brain
giraffe out in the
explodes.
wilderness? They won't never see that.
Oh yeah, because you're never going to take them on a safari or anything like a good dad. You're never going to take them on a trip to see anything.
I won't take them
outside
to
of
the
the zoo.
Sahara.
You're not going to? You're not going to take them
to Africa?
anywhere. Doesn't have to be a giraffe. You're not going to take them.
If we go outside and there's animals outside.
You can go hiking.
Yeah, dude, there's animals outside. You don't need to go to the zoo. Look, if I
Wow, what a beautiful childhood. Your
had
kid's going to
kids-
grow up seeing squirrels and deer.
Look,
Oh,
if
man.
I have kids, I'll probably take them to the zoo, but then I'll sit them down and I'll say, what we did was wrong. What we did, we supported an immoral institution, and this is part of the complexity of being alive. We can
I mean, you're not wrong.
so
Every you could boil everything down to like, this could this
good and
seems
bad.
good. This seems good, but it's not good.
yeah.
And you should feel guilty about it.
I think that kind of leads us right into Eddington.
I was just gonna say, what a perfect transition.
Okay. So, Aaron, what's this film about?
Okay, I don't have a cheat sheet written.
Oh, I do.
But-
I didn't give it to you?
Oh, you're right. You did pull up one. Let me pull it up.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I didn't. I should just say I didn't contribute to it.
That's
so-
okay. I'll read what it's about while you pull it up in the week.
Yep.
So, in May of 2020, a standoff between a small town sheriff and mayor sparks a powder keg as neighbor is pitted against neighbor in Eddington, New Mexico. This movie approximately cost them $25 million to make, and as of my Google search 4 days ago, it's only made $12 million.
Oh, really? It's actually a pretty good budget, though. You said how much?
25, around 25. And you know, when I was looking at the executive producers, there's a lot of executive producers on this. Is that maybe
A lot of people attached.
maybe like specifically on some other films we've researched, I'll see many producer names. This one had like 7 or 8 executive producer names, which made me wonder if they had a hard time pulling money together.
I don't know. No, I think also. Well, for one, I don't think that Ari Aster is having problems doing that. But I think that
Maybe I'm just a dummy and it's like there's just maybe like 8 to 8 people at the company.
I think in those cases, yeah, there's like when you bring on certain companies or depending on how contracts are written, I could be wrong, but like people like agree like, oh, okay, well, if I get an EP credit on this, and so like that could be like a way to get a crew, a higher budget, if you guarantee some of those things.
Yeah. All right. So this film was written and directed by Ari Aster. I'm just remembering there was someone at the campsite last night that was dressed up in Midsommar fashion, which is great.
Oh, fun.
They had the white gown and floral thing on. That was fun. Okay, so what I thought was interesting was the cinematography. A gentleman named Darius Kanji. Aaron, this DP did Delicatessen,
Yes.
7, Midnight in Paris, and Uncut Gems. That's quite a spread of films over many years. That's pretty cool.
Yes.
Darius Kanji. And
What a
people only
cool-
give Deacons. Deacons is like the name. What about Kanji?
You know what? I'm familiar with his name and obviously his work. I don't think that I'm glad that you connected it because I don't know his whole like filmography. But now that you said it, obviously, Delicatessen, City of Lost Children, like any of those films by Jean-Pierre Jeunet. I hope I'm not saying his name wrong. Is like their Amélie is definitely up there as one of my favorite films, and so. But I don't know actually if he did Amélie. But either way, working with him as a director, he's done some great stuff. It would appear, and those films are beautiful to look at. So definitely check them out if you haven't. But also Uncut Gems. It looks like he did Marty Supreme. So definitely working with the Safdie brothers.
Yep.
Awesome. Just awesome. What a cool history of work.
Yeah.
Under your belt.
Cast.
Hey, I've heard of some of these people.
This cast is packed. Packed cast. Joking Phoenix. The Joker. Joker Phoenix.
Joker Phoenix.
As Joker as Joe Cross. Pedro, Let Me Hold Your Hand Pascal as Ted Garcia. Emma Semlin. It is funny how he's like nervous. And he's like, let me hold your hand. It's like, grow up. Emma Stone as Louise Cross.
Emma's crushing it.
She's in so much stuff. I'm really excited for the
if you
Begonia
saw
film.
when you're watching Superbad, are you watching Emma Stone as brilliant as she was in that movie, being like this? She's going to be like a top tier,
dude.
amazing.
I forgot she was in that film. That's
or
a-
Easy A. Like,
right?
I mean, she started off with like there was a certain, I wouldn't say typecasted, but she definitely started doing a certain type of film, and then like just like
she got in with
exploded.
She grouped up with the right weirdos to do cool stuff.
I hope she said that too.
Obviously
I need some weirdos.
Yeah, she's obviously a weirdo herself.
That's great.
In a good way.
Weirdos make great artists, and she's one of them. So,
Deirdre O'Connell is Dawn Bodkin, the mother. She was in Eternal Sunshine. I don't remember what.
Yes.
Who was she?
She's awesome. It's very short lived, but she's got an awesome performance opposite of Tom Wilkinson, who she's the wife of, and Tom Wilkinson. Spoilers for Eternal Sunshine, but it's one of my favorite films. If you don't remember, he runs the company that is responsible for removing the memories, and Kirsten Dunst's character doesn't remember that she had a relationship, like an affair with him, and so she's got a couple really great scenes in there. Highly recommend.
The guy that played the one cop, Guy Tooley, he was the Gray in 50 Shades of Grey. He was the Gray dude. What's his name?
I don't know.
Steve Gray.
I don't know.
50 Shades of Grey cast. He's like the main Christian Grey. Wait, no, that's not him.
Yeah, no.
Wait, what the hell did I?
You're thinking of somebody else.
No, hold on. Wait, what's his name?
I don't know.
Luke Grimes.
Oh yeah, you're thinking of Luke Grimes, who worked with. Luke Grimes is great.
Who was he in? Dude, I'm losing my mind. He's in.
But this is some of my favorite stuff.
When
you try to figure out.
He's Elliot Gray, so he's like a brother or something.
Oh, okay.
I've never seen the film, so I didn't. I assumed I saw Gray in the character name. I thought, oh, he's Gray of the 50 Shades.
I just loved you trying to connect all that. That was pretty funny.
I'm sorry. And then, do you know any of these other people? Michael Ward is Michael Cook. He was the cop. He was the other cop that they tried to frame.
No, I wasn't familiar with him, but I thought he was awesome.
He was in another movie called Top Boy, which I don't know what that's about, but it sounds
like it needs to be on our list.
Sounds like something. Cameron Mann is Brian. He was the kid. He was in Mayor of Easttown. Ted's son, Silo, was in a film called Silo. Matt Gomez Hidaka. Austin Butler. He got him again. He's in a lot of stuff.
Austin Butler, if anybody doesn't know, we just talked about with Caught Stealing on last week's episode, which was a fun one, so go check it out. Austin is having quite the run.
He is. And really, I want to jump right into the audience reception, because I think that's where the meat of this episode is. However, one quick trivia. Christopher Abbott, do you remember, Christopher Abbott?
Yeah, sure do.
He was supposed to be Austin Butler's character.
Oh, was he?
I think he would have been better.
I thought Austin did pretty good, but I love Christopher Abbott.
Christopher Abbott, I think for that character, especially listening to an interview with Ari Aster where he said that character is supposed to be the internet. Christopher Abbott has a much weirder, darker. He's like, I think he would be like. Do you remember the guy who he shot up that college? He was like it was like one of the first introduction of incels to American mainstream.
I don't know the name, but yeah, I mean,
he was like, he took the video in the car and he was like,
yes, I know.
Christopher Abbott he's kind of like that guy to me. He has that kind of energy. So to me, he's more internet.
I think he would have played it darker for sure.
Yes, and I think that would have been better.
Yeah, Christopher Abbott was in an awesome film that I highly recommend, Sanctuary. If anybody hasn't seen it, it's a great little small film, like kind of like a one location thing, but it's excellent. Go check it out.
Mixed feelings on that movie, but okay. Let's go right into. I got 2 5-star reviews and 2 1-star reviews, so let's each read one. And also, I'm pulling these off Letterboxd, and because Letterboxd is like another social media platform essentially where I didn't realize a lot of people will end the reviews with, and you could finish the rest of the review on my Substack.
Yeah, they're like trying to lead you
So
elsewhere.
we will give credit to the reviews we read from now on.
Okay, great. Yeah.
So I'll start with this first one. This comes from Movie Good or Movie Bad says. Okay, give me a second. I gotta
Prep yourself.
a masterpiece of exploitation, manipulation, and conspiracy. Eddington is maybe... I need to blow my screen up. I'm like getting old. Eddington is maybe one of the most important films of the 21st century, exploring a time immediately after the COVID-19 pandemic had begun and political turmoil threatens to dismantle town as two men run for mayor. As I always say with Ari Aster, I feel like he is a director that others really underestimate, creating a film intentionally framed to have two people in opposing forces, but really having everyone being so unlikable, despicable, and morally questionable that we have to accept the nuance of character and sit through a film that asks white America to critique itself. I can't speak for any people of color offended by Ari Aster, and as an Asian person, I'm not usually seeing myself in his films. But I think the reflections of race we see here are more about white people's relationships to blackness rather than something more offensive to me. Okay. And there, you know what? There might have been more to that. Some of these reviews, dude, people write 5 paragraphs.
Oh yeah.
So I frankly, I might have. I think I read this is bad. This is bad. I'm doing air quotes journalism on my part. I think I read the first half of that and it was like, this is good, and I didn't read the rest of it. So
this is good.
Okay, you do the next one.
Jacob Knight.
5. This is
Who gave
this
us
is also
5 stars. A misanthropic shitpost cinematic response to the last 5 years of performative politics, opportunistic ideological flip-floppers, hellish doom-scrolling galaxy-brain conspiracy theorists, and a general loss of respect for anything resembling humanity in our fellow man. Since we haven't gotten a new S. Craig Zahler film in almost a decade, this will have to do. Willfully fucked up, strikingly gorgeous, brutally violent, and downright apocalyptic in its worldview. The movie of 2025 and a defining statement on how nothing will ever get better again. Oh, man. Brutal.
S. Craig, do you know what he did? S. Craig Zahler?
No.
Bone Tomahawk?
Oh, okay.
Brawl and... I haven't seen it. I've seen that. I haven't seen his other 2 movies. Brawl in Cell Block 99 and Drag...
that's with Vince. Yes.
And
I'm familiar, but I haven't seen him.
Dragged Across Concrete.
Okay.
I gotta watch those next, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the 1 stars. Clara Curtis says, grossly irresponsible to make a film that attempts to examine the intensely vitriolic state of American politics amidst the earliest months of COVID. Not to mention how Trump or the MAGAsphere, and not mention, sorry, let me read this again. Grossly irresponsible to make a film that attempts to examine the intensely vitriolic state of American politics amidst the earliest months of COVID and not mention how Trump or the MAGAsphere directly amplified and exacerbated so many of those very issues. But at least we can laugh about the youths caring very loudly about George Floyd's murder, and we can roll our eyes at the women who succumb to right-wing conspiracies as a coping mechanism to deal with trauma that exists just to make them difficult to stomach. I found every part of this uninteresting and maybe even worse, unintelligible. No interest in digging...
Unintelligent.
Unintelligent, sorry. Thank you. No interest in digging into the nuances that exist within this reality. No attempt at reconciling with these experiences. Just nonstop upping the ante in the bizarrely cruel and misguided ways Aster seems to be gravitating towards more with each new film.
We'll revisit that one. I have thoughts on that. Okay, I'll end this with the last 1-star review that's from Filmland Empire. It says, Eddington, a self-indulgent, tedious mess. It starts off as a toothless satire about the COVID BLM summer and the ongoing culture wars, which the film has nothing interesting to say about, feeling like a ChatGPT-generated conveyor belt of edgy jokes designed to make A24 bros smugly chuckle. Then it gets even worse as it turns into a confused, violent, dark comedy with some cheap Coen Brothers imitation. Pedro Pascal is wasted. Joaquin Phoenix's character is so poorly written that the actor really struggles with it. Only Emma Stone manages to be compelling with her sadly short screen time. Dreadful. #Cannes 2025.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I would have been a 3-star. I didn't, at no point in the film was I like going, oh, well, I can't believe he would say that. And when the film ended, I wasn't like, oh my God, he cracked the code. Like he figured it out. For me, what I was most impressed about with the film was that I do feel like he captured a lot of nuance of 2020 pretty well. He had a lot of different dynamics at play with COVID, with BLM, with like encroaching tech companies. There was a lot. He might have given himself too much, but I at no point did I. Oh, and not to mention like the the wife's character being drawn and like the crazy mother-in-law being drawn into, and I say crazy like, well, they were dealing with a lot of trauma, being drawn into this this internet world. So he had a lot he was dealing with, and I feel like with all that was on the plate, I do feel like it was balanced pretty well. Go ahead before I ramble on.
Well, I don't know if I have a rating for this, weirdly enough. And I think it's because I'm still digesting it. Why? What were you saying?
Well, let me so in an interview with Ari Aster, he said he wanted the movie. He says Ari calls it the movie that Twitter wrote, and he wanted it to feel like he wanted the movie to feel like the internet. And if that was his goal, I don't think it didn't feel like the internet to me.
I don't think the internet, but I think the moment. It felt like the moment that we're still living through. So, because I think the internet is just a piece of it. And I think that if you were to really try and argue the case that like, oh, this film is the internet, I don't think there's room for many sane characters. Not that this film was full of sane characters by any means, but like, I just think everything is so hyperbolic that nothing would be grounded. Like even though things go off the deep end fairly quickly in Eddington, I don't think that to me resembles the internet. I think that it's just more indicative of a kind of we're looking in a mirror, like, and to get back to what I felt like when I watched it. Okay, so if we go macro with world events, as we're recording this is the end of the week that Charlie Kirk was just assassinated. And like, I stopped the movie because the noise and the news and the texts and everything, like I was just so... I think that watching the movie was like too real. I was like, why? I'm like watching this like fictional film, but it just feels like, why am I just putting this on? I think I texted you, right? I was like, I can't even finish this right now because it just feels so overwhelming that like, I don't want to, it's like a film that I don't say a lot, but I'm like, I don't want to deal with this. It's like, I feel like I'm dealing with this in real life. I don't want to deal with it like in my entertainment. And I'm not saying that all entertainment should be like, oh, this should just be rainbows and make me happy and laugh. Not at all, not in the least. But in that particular moment, it was like we were watching it at a very weird time in history that I just was like, oh, this is hitting too close to home.
The timing of it was, it's weird. Anyway, okay, so you're still,
I think I'm still digesting the film. I think that I by no means think that it was a one,
was there any part of it that you felt was handled irresponsibly?
I wanted to go back to this review.
Okay, let's do that.
This, Claire Curtis, as she's saying that
we don't know this person.
I don't know this person at all. But in her review, she says, oh, we can laugh about the youth caring very loudly about George Floyd's murder. We can roll our eyes at the women who succumb to right-wing conspiracies as a coping mechanism to deal with trauma. It's, to me...
Well, I don't think we were meant to roll our eyes.
That's what I mean. It's like, I feel like she's off. Not only is that not the response that's probably warranted for some of the stuff that is in the film, but also are films not allowed to just this doesn't have to. And we talked about this with Caught Stealing. Not every film has to be like, what message are they sending? Like this is a film that it's a fictional story that's set in the world that we all know. We all just live through.
Well, I think a movie like this, though, it does.
No, I'm not saying it's without its messages. I'm saying that every particular instance, how would you feel about her saying, "Oh, you wouldn't mention Trump or the MAGAsphere in this"? How do you take that? Because I think that's actually probably the biggest piece to discuss about it.
I don't. I guess immediately watching the film and immediately after, I didn't feel like that was a needed element because
we get it.
Because the public is responding to. I don't know. I guess it just doesn't feel like. I'm imagining if you have to include this. I mean, in a way, in a sense, that's kind of like what Austin Butler's character was. You could almost compare a suit like not a soothsayer. That's not the word I'm looking for. Like a slick, fork-tongued, salesman, someone who
Some kind of snake oil salesman.
Yeah, I was almost gonna say a populist, but Austin Butler's character isn't like a populist. He's just someone who provides. When you are dealing with trauma like these characters are, and you feel like, because a lot of times dealing with trauma, you feel like you have a loss of control. And I'm speaking with someone like I've been around this firsthand. When someone feels like they have a loss of control, oftentimes you will see greater narratives outside of yourself. People are drawn to conspiracy theories and things because they make sense. They're not. A lot of them are times are nutso, but the world is, and so these things make sense against the backdrop of how crazy the world is. Someone is putting together a narrative for you, and you feel like you have a sense of control, and especially when a lot of those narratives are about these forces that you have no grasp on. And it takes some of the burden of like responsibility away because I can't do anything about these conglomerates or these these groups that are together that are controlling, the puppet strings, controlling the world. So how would I even start with that thought? I just totally rambled myself into a corner.
No, I think that makes sense. I mean, because we were going over this review.
So that I guess if there had to be like a Trump-like character, some man who comes in and just sweet talks the people, who feel like they have a loss of control, the wayward masses, and shepherds the flock to where he wants them to go. I guess that would have been that character.
I might be missing the mark here, but to me, the film purposefully centers on this super small town for a reason, and what happens when our media sphere, envelops like this small town. I didn't need it to be personally. I didn't need it to go broader than that. To me, the point was like the only outside of the town, all we see is social media. We're only seeing snippets of the real world from whatever it is, Antifa fighting police or whatever, through snippets on Instagram, which is telling because that's like how a lot of people who don't ever leave their small town, that's how they're seeing it. I remember when we lived in Chicago, and there's a lot of gang violence in Chicago, or was when we lived there, and there probably is in certain pockets. But like my parents would talk to me and they'd be like, "Is it safe? Like, are you okay?" And I'm like, "It's because you don't live there, like you're only getting what the news, what your computer is telling you, so you have there's no relative."
Right.
So that to me, it made sense. It was, I didn't need to bring anything bigger into it. And it was about the mayoral race, and anybody who's just like, "Oh, well, they didn't," are you trying to place blame? Are you saying like, well, if you didn't mention MAGA or Trump, then you're not like acknowledging, like fault anywhere, or like any party, for instance. But to me, we knew who the characters were supposed to portray. We knew who were the conservatives and who were the liberals,
Right.
It made sense to me. So I just didn't, I just don't, agree with that.
Did the film feel like a conveyor belt of Chat GPT generated edgy jokes?
No, I didn't find it very funny. Did you?
There was a few moments. There were a few moments I laughed, but with Ari Aster's films, like I kind of can't tell when. Well, I guess I can tell when he wants you to laugh. Like there's a scene where the kid is sitting and having dinner with his parents. The kid who's he's trying to impress the girl. He wants
that was funny. That's right.
So yeah, and he says, "Hey Mel." Yeah, he goes in this diatribe about like whiteness, and we need to like kill, white. We need to like, dismantle the whiteness within ourselves. And the dad says he's retarded.
Yeah.
And I, so I feel like even when as I was experiencing, the aftermath of George Floyd's murder, and I mean we can go back as far as like Me Too, Me Too, and then George Floyd's murder, and then COVID. There was like this huge swing of political correctness to swing to the left.
Yeah.
I underwent some like I need to rethink things. Like maybe because we grew up in a generation where it was like, oh, you call things gay and
you're very indifferent about your vocabulary and your actions because
and I don't know, we grew up predominantly around white people, so it's like I think to some extent I try to like dismantle like the whiteness within myself, and I went through some of that too. Like maybe there must be something here or people wouldn't be so angry. I don't think this is some George Soros,
nah, man, you got taken.
Some leftist, like I don't think there's some like grand globalist conspiracy to brainwash the minds of the youths to.
He got you, dude.
I think there's like...
You probably got the microchips in your bloodstream telling you what to say.
No, I think there's like a little course correction that needed to happen within American culture. And obviously, in some ways it did go way too far.
I do think that's how the film, I think, was smart in portraying... What I think that Eddington gets the most right is humans' ability to manipulate each other, either with intentional information and and things that are meaningful and disingenuous information, and misinformation. It's like what we are saying to each other to get somebody to do what we want, Like there's that whole relationship with the boy you brought up, like at dinner, then he wants the girl. And, it's like, seems like overnight, he's like, this is who I got to be, like I want her. So this is who I'm going to become. This is like where all my ideologies are going to be rooted now.
Yeah.
So
it's, one of the reviews at the top of them had this line, and just I remember too, there was a moment in the film where, do you remember when Emma Stone's character is getting into the car with Austin Butler's, he's coming to get her.
Yeah.
And Joaquin Phoenix is standing by his truck that's all decked out. That was hilarious. Anytime he drove that truck anywhere, that was funny.
Yeah.
And he has in frame, there's a sign that says "You're being manipulated." Mm-hmm. That's the whole.
And
film.
I think it's spelled wrong.
It is spelled wrong. That is, now that I'm thinking about it, that is sort of the headline of the whole film. Like every character's being manipulated. But like, what is that? Okay, but when you say everyone's being manipulated, well,
we all are. But I think that, if you go granular, it's easy to, like, I don't think anybody could say, like, oh, I'm not being manipulated. Like, the hell you aren't, dude. You're online, right? Like, there's an algorithm set for you, unless you're a hermit in the woods and you don't participate in society. There are so many technological tools that are being used to shape and adhere to your wavelength, and get you to keep clicking and keep buying. We're all manipulated, but what interests me more is the human aspect of it, is like how, after being manipulated, how we're manipulating others. So
yes. Okay, there's a few directions we can go with this, but I kind of want to stick to. So in listening to another interview with him, the guy, I think he was interviewing the Hot Ones guy, or he was being interviewed by him, and he asked, what's the film about? And Ari Aster said, "Oh, it's a film about a data center being built in this town."
Okay.
Like he totally skirts. Like he goes kind of like to the what seems to be at the lowest of the totem pole.
But you could argue that that's the whole thing, right?
But yeah, because all the information that is manipulating everyone is hosted in these places. That this is the storehouse for all these things.
Can you also be said that this is also like, you know, like the gang violence, or from like Antifa, the violence, like it's all orchestrated based on information from this company to get them to pull this off or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1 second.
Yeah.
Mel, you gotta come on.
Cat problems, wanting in and out.
What's up?
Are you recording something?
Yeah.
Or just let me know when you're done and I'll do the wash.
Okay, cool. Okay, sorry, where were we?
Yeah, just saying that the big tech was probably the evil in the shadows.
Yeah.
for the
Okay,
whole
so
film.
so the end of the film.
So the end.
The end of the film. The plane. Do you notice on the tail of the plane?
Mm-mm.
There was a hand, and I watched I meant to get his name. I watched someone do a breakdown of the film, and it was really good. I'll try to find it and plug it at the end of the episode. On the tail of the plane, there was a hand gripping a planet.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, it's a pretty ham-fisted and the elite are sending in the Antifa soldiers to sow discord and chaos amongst the American public. Is that when you were watching it, when that happened, like when it escalated as his films do? You saw Beau's Afraid, right?
No, I haven't yet.
Oh, okay. Do you know anything about it?
I did very little. I saw the trailer and then I watched a couple people talk about it, but I don't really know.
Really quick, the guy I was mentioning, his name's Lucas Blue. This is a YouTuber. He did a really good breakdown of Eddington.
I'll have to check it out.
The symbols and themes and stuff. But anyway, okay. So, when the ending began to escalate as it did, were you in for the ride, or were you like, what is going on now?
I think I understand. I felt like it all was leading up to something, you know, because with all the hints with the billboards, you know, the data center's coming, you know, that being a point of contention between, you know, the two leads. I thought that, okay, like it's building to something. Mm-hmm. But
so you were like, this is cool.
Yeah, it tracked for me for sure. Okay. Yeah. How about you?
When it initially started happening, I was a little resistant to it. I go, what is this now? Mm-hmm. Because my thought with a film like this, even though he's laying out pretty clearly a world that, you know, we all went through, I also know with a director like this and a film like this, there's all kinds of symbolism in there. There's all kinds of stuff that I'm not catching right away. Mm-hmm. And so I immediately see I see this part of the film and I go, well, okay, what is this a metaphor for? I can't just take it at face value. I can't enjoy the action because I'm like, well, okay, what else does this mean?
Yeah.
Which a film like this, I don't know. I guess
there was can we just agree that there was a lot? Like it felt like he tried to pack every idea
right
about our current state of affairs into this.
Yeah.
You know, like I honestly couldn't think of, but that also is what it feels like. You know, again, it feels like all of these things happening at once, that it's like this perfect storm of, you know, and so
too much to deal with.
I can't sit back and be like, oh, well, it was overloaded. If it's trying to reference,
was he going, we got so much, as every individual has so much to deal with, I'm going to cram as much crap in this film as I can because that's a reflection of the world.
I mean, in an interview I saw with him, he, you know, in so many words said he wants it to be reflective of our current times, and
too much to handle. Would you make of that scene when Joaquin Phoenix's character goes back to the house and he sees his wife, but then it's the mother?
Yeah.
What was that?
Because it was clearly Emma Stone, right? It was clearly Rabbit.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Because I didn't watch it back, but then I thought no, that was
No,
they
he
used her
makes a decision
silhouette.
to show her and then
Yeah.
show the mother. What did
I
you?
love that.
What did you make of it?
No, I liked it.
My opinion has been, my well has been poisoned by another's opinion already. So I want to know what you think.
Do you want my opinion on why they chose that direction? Like why he chose to actually have Emma Stone stand in,
What was this?
or like why the character thinks it's Rabbit?
I guess both.
Both. Well, I think he was probably a little delirious. He just got shell shocked by a bomb going off, and his eyesight is poor, and he's probably hopeful that she's returned to him. So all of those things considered, I think it makes sense. And then I think there's probably a trick on the audience, the direction side of things, you know, for Ari Aster to kind of play it up by having the audience think too, like, oh man, is she really back? All right, now poison the well.
It's just that their characters, the mother and daughter characters, are following the same trajectory. Their stories are following the same path.
Yeah.
And did you also glean from the film that the trauma, because there's a whole thing about, it is believed that Ted Garcia, the mayor, played by Pedro Pascal, had sexually assaulted Emma Stone's character, but in truth, it was the father.
It was the father.
Which the dolls kind of make sense. It's like she's like stuck. I think she's mentioned something about how she has made these since she was a kid, so she's stuck in this childlike state. You know, she's this trauma has frozen her in this place, this developmental stage in her life that she can't get past.
Well, that was also her kind of tipping point, right? When he goes on and he calls out Ted for
and he
rape,
uses
her trauma to try to
run his campaign.
Which, oh man, what an awful,
what a terrible idea!
What a terrible idea that was.
Yeah, his character. I mean, his character is. In an interview, Ari Aster had mentioned how he's a very he said he kept using the word sentimental. He says he's a very sentimental character. So for that reason, he never looks at his own life. That he does actually care about, or he is thinking about the others around him, but he doesn't look at his own life.
Well, that would make sense of why there's so many things that could be looked at like as poor decision making, but he just thinks like, I just got to keep going with it. Like he truly believes, and this is, I guess, where, you know, everybody's the hero of their own story, you know, like I'm going to make a difference.
He's an idealist.
If I become mayor, I'm going to deal with all of this. I'm going to make it all better for everybody, despite all these F-ups, despite not knowing what I'm doing, despite having the wrong information, despite lying to people. It's all because ultimately it doesn't matter because I'm going to do good.
And that was another big thing with this character it was having it was a loss of control. He can't, because his department is losing money. His own deputies are being like booted off the force. His mother-in-law's moved in. He is, you know, in the beginning of the movie, he's watching that video about about pregnancy and like, you know, so there's no part of his life where he feels like he has control. And so this him running for mayor, this is his one thing.
There's a great Andrew Callahan who does Channel 5. He did a documentary, which I haven't seen, but I've seen interviews. Have you heard of it?
Oh yeah, the something about Kelly, the
Dear Kelly.
Dear Kelly, yeah. I haven't seen it, but I'm aware. I know who Kelly is and a lot of the lore behind him.
So for anybody who's not familiar, it's a subject that he interviews in some of his videos, and then he went on to make a feature about him. And Kelly is this guy who has just become enveloped in conspiracy theories, and Andrew Callahan makes some really interesting points. Again, I haven't seen the film, but in an interview, he talks about what he discovered and how people fall into that, I guess, that hole of like conspiracy brain, you know, where you are just so convinced of everything, you know, like there can be no there can be no coincidence, there can be no real life circumstances that lead to any event just unfolding naturally. There's always got to be a sinister plot behind it. And some of the things that he discovers is that like it's loss of connection is one of them. I think the guy in the film has like been totally disowned or separated from his own family, you know. So things like that I think that he got right in Eddington, that it feels like you're saying this loss of control as well, where he's in over his head. It all tracks.
All right. We're approaching an hour here.
Final thoughts.
So final thoughts. I think that this film, I still don't look at it as it handled the subject matter poorly. I don't think the audience, if there was someone who is conservative, I don't believe they're going to walk into this film and come out more. This film's not going to radicalize anyone. I don't think. Which, if that's your concern, is mishandling of the subject matter, that you're worried about how it might affect an audience negatively. Someone might come out of it with the wrong idea. I mean, that's anything now. It's someone might get, people watching Charlie Kirk. Oh, he's spreading the way he, the way he handles subject matter, what he talks about. He's manipulating people. I don't think this film is going to manipulate people into being any worse versions of themselves than they might already be.
Yeah, that's fair. Not something that I would put on for the fun of it, but I think that's just because of where we are currently politically and just, as a country. But if you are looking for an interesting take and interesting characters, I don't think that this was like some poorly executed film, like like the reviewer is saying, like some Chat GPT. Also, can I just put a little flag in this and say we are going to start seeing that excuse pop up so much?
Oh, it's like a pejorative.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's something we can't do anything about because I don't think that you really will be able to prove it.
Well,
so like,
I don't think they were saying that it was Chat GPT. I think they
No,
used it
no,
as
no,
a
no.
pejorative,
No,
like it's
I know.
stock. Okay.
I know. But I'm saying that will be used in the future just as a insult for, oh, this just was terrible, bad dialogue, filler, whatever.
Chat drivel tea.
Chat drivel. Yeah, I thought it was a well executed film with interesting characters. It just did not sit well with me because of the current climate, but
Current state of things.
yeah. But if you're not sensitive to those kind of things and you're just like, yeah, lay it on me, I couldn't get enough of COVID 2020, I just love that time, then this movie's for you.
Okay. All right, let's wrap it up there. Normally we didn't do a cinema sacrifice today.
No, we'll have to put some thought into
I will
the
say
next one.
in lieu of that, we'll do some movies that I want to watch after watching this film, because this film is considered a Western film.
Okay.
And I don't know if these films are Westerns per se, but some films that Ari Aster. Oh, I should have wrote them down. Oh, crap. Oh, jeez. Oh, crap. Oh, wait. Here we go. So from production, so he showed the crew. So he was asked, before the crew shot, he showed them some films. The Last Picture Show in Nashville. Those are two films he had the crew watch before shooting. When asked what other films he would have wanted to show the crew, he said Fat City and The Wild Bunch.
I've heard of Fat City.
And
The Wild Bunch.
He wasn't referencing these films, but and then he followed up with saying that he wanted the film to feel like the internet. Those films have nothing to do with the internet because they were made like in the 80s, 70s. But 70s, 80s. But anyway, those are, if you're looking for more stuff to watch, if you like this film and you want to like have other reference points to, buff up your movie buff stuff, consider watching The Last Picture Show, Nashville, Fat City, or The Wild Bunch.
Alrighty. We'll check them out. This has been, what's up? You got anything else?
That was it.
All right. Yeah. Guys, this is 78. And, oh, by the way, we're going to schedule out our horror month. All horror, all October, 4 straight weeks of horror film reviews, and I think we're going to start off with an old film called The Church.
Yeah, that movie looks sweet.
So check it out now.
And I'm going and I'm looking at our Patreon here. We got zero members.
Let's go
For our $5 a month tier that gets you. We do watch-alongs. Well, we haven't done any yet.
Watch these films with us. Well, we will.
We haven't done any yet, but we will.
I'm not gonna do them for nobody.
Yeah. Should we have a? Okay, this seems. I'm gonna workshop something with you here. Let's say we have one person.
That person's gonna
For
hang with us.
Let's say for a year. Like we're just gonna do watch-alongs for 1 year for one person, or should we have a threshold? Like we need at least 10.
Do it if anybody signs.
We need
up.
at least 10 people to do this for us to do.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We can also talk to the patron if they come along.
Yeah.
And say,
Our one theoretical patron.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
All right, y'all. Thanks for listening. This is episode 78 of FND POD. We'll catch you next week, and we love you.
We love you, and be nice to everyone.
Be nice, please. Bye, y'all.
Bye.